To Keep It Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to bring you another reading for Taurus. I thank you, Spirit. Wow, we got a break right here and right here. For protecting and keeping me safe, for protecting the collective and keeping us safe. Taurus, we have the star, so I can't speak. I see destiny, I see Aquarius, so you're focused on what you want. So you may be just looking forward to having that time on your own. You're reminiscing, or someone from the past is looking for you. We have the Eight of Wands, communication, for happiness. Following your intuition. Again, timeline is usually 3 months, or someone is pregnant, 3 months. Beginning that family. Again, we have a 9 and an 8, so we're stepping back. Again, looking back in time, remembering, going back with who we were happy with, or who we want to be with, or who we've been with, and then thinking about the future. Making new plans and remembering the deceit that could have come with third parties, and leaving, starting over, starting anew, having a new plan to move on. Again, it's going back with people you were with before, or remembering them, remembering how it was. Taurus, thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares, but most of all for showing up. And the Hierophant just let go. Still with the 6 of Cups, so it's childhood memories. It's probably teaching, learning lessons from the past, having that connection with childhood. Maybe it's an offer that you may have received from someone from the past, or someone from the past wants to make an offer of marriage. Someone wants to get into relationship. Someone wants to renew a relationship. Or you may just want to move on and follow what you love. Leaving behind a certain situation with people from the past. And then the deck lets go with our 4 of Pentacles, still with our the Hierophant, and the 6 of Cups. So it's a question of holding back information, not really trusting a situation or certain individuals from the past. Taurus, you are clearing things up. You're working through what would have been difficult times. Again, third parties, that sense of player mode, wanting to, the 7 of Swords coming back again with why you left, or why they left, or ending up a situation, really sealing the deal there. We have a 6 of Cups, so really going back from the past, having that clarity of mind as well. And then I see here we have the King of Wands. So that knight became a king, and still there was betrayal, and the Devil too. So really holding back from telling certain truths, not wanting to grow up in some cases. Again, the 7 of Swords is that really being selfish. And again, the deck splits with the Emperor this time around, and the Ace of Pentacles with the Hierophant. So someone may have grown up. Someone may have learned their lesson and wants to come back, make an offer for marriage, Taurus. Or you are dealing with people from the past, making new endeavors, wanting to build something new, have that legacy going. The cards are feeling quite tight, so it could be that it's close-knit relationships from the past, old friends. We have the Page of Wands with the Queen of Swords. So we're going from really having that passionate desire for moving into something new, but wanting the truth, wanting to be honest, wanting to come clean, having that sense of doubt that maybe you won't say yes, or they're doubting that you could be dealing with a fire sign too, that they're doubting that you would want to rekindle a relationship. They're being patient because they know that they have to come with the truth if they do approach you. Wow, that's pretty specific there. Taurus, I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. This is by Giulia Massaglia. I keep messing up her name. Oh, I said it right. Massaglia. Yeah. Giulia Massaglia. That is the Celtic cross spread is what I'm using. Cards are chosen at random. For the energy oracle, which is for the energy around you, that unknown energy, I'm using the energy oracle by Sandra AnneTaylor. Cards that go on that 3, the Empress, releasing the Justice card. So it's all in good time. It's all in divine timing, as well as justice being served. Karmic relationships from the past is probably what you're dealing with. For the oracle message, the general oracle message for the reading, I'm using the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and that is oracle deck created by Alberto, Villoldo, and Colette Baron-Reid with Marcela, Lobos. Taurus. Let's see, take the cards at random. The deck keeps splitting though. We have the 5 of Swords with the 5 of Wands. So mind games, and that doubt, that bargaining or wanting to bargain, or manipulation, or just that doubt, that uncertainty. You know, will they come with me? Will Taurus go with me? I don't know if I should approach. I'm just going to cut the deck. Person that is trying to come back into your life is somebody that you know from the past. And again, that's kind of specific. So just take it as it resonates. There is history here. You've been disappointed, Taurus. Could be with anybody. This relationship with people from your past. You're going over certain situations and your part to play in those situations. Just sorry, I need to cough. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, just making sure it's still recording. Okay, so more swords. We have the 8 of Swords, and see, it's really had a blockage in my throat there for a second. I'm not sure if it is so disappointing that you don't want to talk to them, but it is a question of changing the mindset here, because it's a lot of swords. So either you are really wanting to get away from someone, or you've been gravely disappointed by them. Now it's a question of turning that mind around, just releasing the tense memories, the hurt. Again, it's I don't know what was done, but it's got your mind set in a place where you don't want to let go. But that's the test, is to be able to let go of whatever hurt and take that experience and build on what could be positive. I mean, it's difficult because a heartbreak is a heartbreak. But it's not just a heartbreak. When you have the Eight of Swords coming up as your test, it is because it was so grave. It was so intense. It was really heart-wrenching, like gutted. You were just gutted. Okay. Spirit is asking you to change your mind on how you feel about what took place. And that is difficult. That is really difficult because there it is. You were feeling, you remember how you were thrown to the side, pushed out, made to feel that you didn't belong. But you are overcoming this. This is your mind right now, or where your mind has been over a certain period of time. We're going back months, we're going back days, we're going back weeks. Really depends on you. If you feel that you had to go on your own, that you were made to feel that you didn't belong, that you were put out, well, there it is. You're really looking at, wow, this was done to me. Like, you still can't believe, or you're going back now, reflecting on what was, and this is where you have to make that change in the way you see that circumstance, because everything happens for a reason. Even if we don't see the good in why did this bad thing have to happen, what did I ever do to deserve this? This is where this brings us. But it's not so much about you in respect to the next person treating you in that type of way. It's about them having to see that they did treat you in that type of a way and reckon with that. It's like saying you don't become the monster that you... I forget how that saying goes now. Anyway, you get my meaning here. Someone doing something very bad or making you feel that you don't belong, you now have taken on that notion of, well, I don't belong and I do feel like I don't belong, is not the way to go. Spirit is asking you to let that feeling go, that way of thinking that you don't belong or you are not worthy, and see your value. Again, everything happens for a reason. If you had a relationship or family connection, for example, because you can't really pick your family in that sense, where they made you feel like you didn't belong, you behaving now as if you don't belong is sort of playing into their mindset. And you don't want to become that thing that you hate the most, you see? So Spirit is testing you now to see, you've been hurt by these people and they're coming around again, because it seems to be people from your past. Are you going to treat them the way that they treated you, or will you regress back into that mode of inferiority in their presence, or will you rise above and embrace what could be a new beginning? What's in the past should stay in the past at this point, because you'll be just stuck in the past and you don't want to be there. That's not a place where you want to go. That is actually a weakening position. I keep taking this cards from the same place, and it's all swords coming up now. So that Nine of Swords is that worry and concern about you're not believing, sorry, you're not belonging and not believing that you could be treated in such a way by certain individuals because you never expected them to treat you in such a way. Again, it's the 9. So back in the past, you were concerned, you were worried, you were sleepless nights. It really played on you how you were treated, and it's really showing up here as heavy. And Taurus, I don't want to say, well, okay, you have to forget about that, but holding on to it is no better than trying to think it never happened, or you have to mourn the dead, and after a certain time you let go of them. Well, it's the same for how you were treated, how you were made to feel, and recognize that, yeah, this happened to you, and what positive can you bring from this grave negative is really the test, because it's a lot of swords, and it's all the worst ones too, because the 9 of swords is all that mind bending on what the hell did I do? I didn't mean, they didn't know, I didn't know, I can't fix, I want to change, this is not real, this can't be happening. It's all of that, the nightmare of nightmares. And then Spirit is saying, you gotta release all that, you gotta let that go, you gotta just be the good light that you know that you are. And you may be asked to do things like provide for or take in the same people who hurt you, and Spirit is really putting that test on you as to, are you able to take on that challenge of changing your mindset. This is a big one, Taurus. The 5 of Wands, the 3 of Wands showing up here is you having changed something, or seeing that you want to change something in respect to your future, where you've seen something different, or because of having everything taken from you, you're able to see different. Again, changing that mindset and seeing possibility and positivity in through the negatives that you've experienced. You were able to not just rise above, but take on that challenge to step into something different, or at least change your mind about something, because that is the test here. Here we see the 4 of swords. So we're back into the swords again, where it's a question of therapeutic conversation, or going to therapy, or having an operation done. For some, I mean, it's really going under the knife, whereas for others, it's having a conversation. Either way, you're going into a place or a space where you can relax and let things go. Again, the test. Spirit is asking, can you let it go? Can you change your mindset? Can you release yourself from the binds that you have created because of the way you were treated? Now, the 8 here becomes the 4. So you've been working on yourself. You've been facing what went wrong, and most likely looking at your portion as to, well, what did you do? How did you get to be in this position? What was your portion to bring this relationship to the brink of a nightmare? And of course you're seeing through the veil, I want to say, but it's more of seeing through the actions or the fear that was created, or the anxiety that was created because of situation or circumstance. And you see through that in the sense where you are able to rise above. You see where you want to go in a different direction. You want to see things change. You want to make that change. You want to change your mind. And here in the future is where you will be able to do that, because you're going from the 8 to the 4. So you're going back, you're facing it. You're really paying attention to what happened and how. You are opening up to the possibility of having a second chance, or giving that second chance. You're making a judgment call based on information that you have received, or viewing your circumstance from a different angle, being able to let go of certain feelings or anxiety, that you can now make that change come in the sense where this is where you are now. You're ready to make that judgment call. You're ready, and you have heard the voice of spirit. You have gone within to the point where you can see that there's a possibility. The possibility is the key word here, because it's brought you to the ability to make a judgment call, as in, I can overcome this, I will overcome this, what they did or what he or she said or did, I can get past that. You making that judgment on, they deserve what they will get, have received, or the situation in itself was supposed to happen this way. You've come to terms with that. You are reckoning with what took place, which will bring that ease into the mind of, okay, I can work through this, I can get through this, I can get over this. Here they are, and I say they because this is energy outside of you. Either they're keeping themselves to themselves, they're not sharing information, they don't want to come forward, or they are really working on themselves with the High Priestess in going into the darkness as to what took place and their portion. I mean, it seems like it's balancing out, where you and whomever are facing what took place, because they are following their intuition, they are paying attention to what took place, they're facing the darkness in that sense, where what they were afraid of, why they reacted the way they did, or what made them trigger a certain reaction or behaviors. Here we see the Two of Cups. So there is a commitment that is hoping to come out of all of this change that seems to be wanting to take place. And the fear is in that there won't be a commitment. As much as they or you or both of you want to have that, there is a fear that there is no commitment, that it's not balanced, it's not equal, or that they don't want or you don't want. Somebody is afraid that the other person will not want to be in that commitment. And then we see the Seven of Swords come back. So again, it's really about making changes, having to make changes, and we go from the 8 to the 4 to the 7. So the desire to be in a relationship or in a commitment, things need to change. And in order to make the change, then you and the other person or people involved need to really step up and decide, okay, this is what I want and I'm going to go for it. And I'm not letting anybody stop me. Because as much as it is the Seven of Swords that we see for lies and deceit and betrayal, the intuition is in just that I don't think that they're going to want to come back, or I don't think they want to be in a relationship with me, or I feel that they won't want to, is projecting just that they won't. This is what you're afraid of, or this is what the next person is afraid of. And their fear will materialize, and then of course there will be that sense of betrayal. However, it's a double-edged sword in that it could just be that they're making their plans because they're determined enough and they see, they're understanding what took place. They're reckoning with that possibility of a second chance because they're hoping that you will give them that second chance, and they will do whatever it takes. Now, again, it is the swords, and for some it is outright betrayal and treachery and manipulation, mind games. Coming to see the change, doing whatever it takes to make the change, because that's what this would represent here. The person or people, the energy that is around you, they're picking up on you wanting to give a second chance because they're following their intuition and they see that you are open. They want to be in a commitment. They are worried that there will not be a commitment, and they will do whatever it takes, again, whatever it takes to make changes appear or happen or transcend into that I need to overcome, because the anxiety is too great. And I want to be in a commitment. I want to fix that anxiety. I want to celebrate marriage with my Taurus. I want to go forward and make that offer. Somebody really wants to bring in that relationship with you. Now, again, you may want to do that with could be a Cancer, could be a Pisces, could even be a Scorpio in here. Doesn't have to be a water sign, but Cancer comes up with the moon, and Jupiter is going into Cancer, so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius even. Okay, but it's not so much who, but the when, and that's coming in. I think we're looking forward to the 13th of the month of October here. As of the 13th, I think that is when Jupiter is going to be going into Cancer, but not for long. Okay, it's going to be about a month in, and then Jupiter is going to retrograde back into Gemini. But that is just to give a taste of what is to come. Whatever you're going to experience throughout the month of October, Taurus, it is related to what's coming up in 2026. So if it is that you're giving off the vibes and they're picking it up, that you are willing to get into a relationship with them, they're going to do whatever it takes. They're not going to let go of this second chance with you, because that's what you're showing here. You're ready. You want to be in the relationship. You want to overcome. You want to feel like you belong again. You are ready to make the change. You've changed your mind in a sense where you understand a little more, or a lot more than you were letting on. But they're picking that up. So not to drag this reading on too long, it just seems to be that the Five of Wands and the Sun card bring it home to deliberating about making that offer, and then being honest about everything that took place so that this relationship can actually heal. And that's where it's going. Again, it's not always in the negative, those two cards, the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. Sorry, I mean to take the energy. So we're going to look at the intuition here. Oh, High Priestess. What is this energy around Taurus? Thank you, Spirit. The High Priestess. What is this energy of the High Priestess for Taurus? Just take a random card. Door to romance. Okay, Taurus, somebody really, really wants to get close to you, and they are working it through. They're picking up your vibe. They want to be in a relationship with you. And it's a master number, that 33. So the door to romance is opening. Again, if you're getting just an inclination in this coming up, I would say middle of the month of October, going towards from the 13th onwards, and then it's going to sort of pull back. This whole feeling is going to be, it's going to be a little bumpy ride, because remember, doing whatever it takes a lot, and really working on change here, it's a consistency that is required, and their plan is just that, to be consistent, because that was probably what the situation was to begin with, where there was inconsistency. So let's read about new beginnings in love for Taurus. Somebody out there really wants to be with you. Whether you're looking for a new relationship or just more love in the relationship you're in, this door with a heart opens onto a new beginning in your experience. A new love may be arriving, and you are being brought together by a strong, resonant connection. This may be a call from a past life, or it may be a new tenderness about to bloom into heartfelt affection. Again, we saw the Six of Cups, so you want to go back and see the beginning there and put all this together. This relationship already exists in energetic potential, so when this card appears in your spread, make sure you are projecting the kind of self-loving energy that you want to receive from others. Be aware that the universe returns your self-caring treatment to you. It's ready to open that door. Are you? Now, this is the energy around you. So flip the you to them, because this is what they are looking forward to. They are hoping. They are picking up on vibes from you. They want to be in a relationship with you, and they are projecting that possibility onto you. And this is where you're coming up to wanting to have that second chance and having that conversation to heal this relationship, what we saw with the Temperance card. Now, for all fairness, I'm going to read the reverse, because I have to. You take it as it resonates. This card reversed indicates a delay or disappointment where love is concerned. In a present relationship, it could also be a sign of distance or separation. For some, the door to love may seem to have been shut for a long time, but the energetic universe is always in a state of flow or flux. Knowing this, you can work on making changes in your daily life that will bring more love into your experience. Remember to make yourself and your own happiness a priority. Encourage yourself and always acknowledge how valuable and deserving you are of receiving your own love and that of others. Such choices in your attitude and self-treatment will shift any old energy or self-dismissal, changing your core consciousness and all that you attract. So tell the universe you're ready for real love because you're finally willing to give it to yourself. And the affirmation, if you want to sit with that for a moment, is, as I open the door to my own self-love, I attract more and more loving tenderness to me. All right, I'm not going to go into more of that, but you see where that's coming from. And again, I would suggest listening to the first part just to see the connection there. So let's take the oracle message for Taurus, month of October. What is the oracle message? Thank you, Spirit. Oracle message for Taurus. Many paths. Oh boy, this sounds like fun. Again, it's 34, so another 7 coming up. We have the 7s tonight. Okay. Let's see. Many paths. All paths lead to spirit. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of loss. Consider the traveler who met 2 stone masons. He asked one what he is doing, and the mason replies, I'm squaring out this stone. He asks the other who is doing the exact same thing, and gets the reply, I'm building a cathedral. One man has a job, the other man has found his work and calling. He is part of an endeavor much greater than himself. Be sure to pick a path with a heart. That's interesting, the heart. Your call now is to take a big, bold step and take a big, bold step and leave the beaten path. Heaven and earth are conspiring on your behalf to support you in this move. Do not dally, lest you miss the moment. It's time to sail into the uncharted. Be sure you attend to both your path through this earth, as well as your journey through the stars. On that note, Taurus, I thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, love and light.